Welcome to the deep dive. You know that feeling, right? Where every self-help book seems to promise this complete life overhaul, demanding you wake up at 5 a.m., meditate for an hour, or like totally reorganize your entire home. It can feel, well, pretty overwhelming. So today, we're cutting straight through all that noise. This deep dive is all thanks to you, our listener, who shared insights from a really fantastic piece, 10 practical self-improvement tips you can start today. It's by Mia Gibson from Mindful Living, and it's a source that really challenges the whole idea that personal growth has to mean these dramatic, life-flipping changes. Instead, it makes a truly compelling case for, well, the surprising power of tiny, consistent steps.
Yeah, what's really fascinating here is how Mia Gibson's work emphasizes that, real personal growth doesn't actually demand turning your life upside down. This approach argues that these mini habits, designed to sort of effortlessly weave into your existing routine, they can naturally build on each other. And they create this ripple effect that genuinely boosts confidence, productivity, and just overall well-being. The core idea, as we'll dig into, is that consistent small steps are actually the secret to the biggest shifts. It sounds counterintuitive, but yeah.
Okay, let's unpack this simple idea first, one that seems almost too easy. The power of just 15 extra minutes in the morning. Our source beautifully calls it finding money in your pocket, like a little hidden treasure. But why is this seemingly tiny tweak so disproportionately powerful?
That's a great question because it's not about suddenly becoming like a morning productivity machine. Not at all. It's much more about creating a psychological buffer, a space between sleep and the actual demands of your day.
A buffer.
Yeah. Behavioral science research, and this includes studies looking at routines of successful people, suggests this quiet, unpressured time helps reduce stress hormones. And it significantly improves focus. It just gives you a moment to be before you have to do.
Right, just exist for a minute.
Exactly.
Right.
Mia Gibson, the author, she found this habit completely foundational during a really chaotic period in her life. She noted how these peaceful morning moments just set a calmer tone for her entire day. Think of it as a mini recharge before the race even begins.
That buffer idea is really compelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shifts the whole purpose of waking up early, doesn't it?
It does.
So, moving from a peaceful start to your day, let's talk about the next tip. It's a seemingly small act with what the source describes as a serious neurological punch. Jotting down 3 things you're thankful for, apparently it takes less than 2 minutes. What exactly is happening in our brains when we do something so simple?
It's definitely more than just a feel-good exercise, although it feels good too. This practice actively shifts your brain's focus towards positivity. So positive psychology research indicates that gratitude literally activates the brain's reward system. It releases feel-good neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin.
Ah, the good stuff.
The good stuff, yeah. And the real magic, as Mia herself discovered, is that even if you start out feeling skeptical, consistent daily practice actually begins to rewire your perception. It really does.
Rewire. Yeah.
And so after just a week, she found herself genuinely noticing more bright spots, even on, challenging days. It trains your brain to seek out the good, whether it's something tiny like a perfect parking spot or a funny text from a friend or a really delicious dinner. It's about building a muscle, really, a muscle for optimism.
Building a muscle for optimism. I love that framing. Okay, now let's talk about another kind of muscle movement. Our source advocates throwing out that whole all-or-nothing fitness mentality. It suggests even 10 minutes makes a difference, no gym required. For many of us, the idea of exercise feels like this huge, daunting commitment. What makes these small bursts so effective?
Well, the key here is consistency over intensity. That's the big shift.
Right.
Emerging research in exercise science is actually showing that short bursts of physical activity accumulated throughout the day are just as beneficial for overall health as longer, continuous sessions.
Really?
As beneficial.
Yeah, for many health markers. Movement stimulates endorphin release, improves circulation, and it acts as this powerful mental fog-clearing agent. It significantly boosts mood and sustained energy levels. Mia shared a great example. She said both a 45-minute workout and a 10-minute kitchen dance party count.
Huh. A kitchen dance party. I like that.
Me too. The goal isn't, peak performance. It's simply to make movement a normal, effortless part of your day. Whether that's choosing the stairs or stretching during TV commercials or, dancing while you cook dinner. It's just about reducing the friction to get moving.
That idea of a kitchen dance party truly reframes what counts as exercise, doesn't it? Takes away all the pressure.
Yeah. Speaking of foundational elements for well-being, this next tip might seem almost too simple. But the source frames proper hydration as truly foundational for self-improvement. What's the real impact of just drinking more water? It seems so basic.
It's astonishingly impactful, actually, because even mild dehydration, like barely feeling thirsty, can significantly impair cognitive function, your mood, and your energy levels.
Wow, okay.
The article highlights a really simple swap. Replacing just one daily coffee with water led to immediate improvements in focus and fewer headaches for the author. Hydration is kind of the unsung hero for brain performance and physical vitality.
Hmm. So how do you make it easier?
Well, the source offers smart hacks, like always carrying a reusable water bottle. That visual reminder helps. Or adding slices of cucumber or berries for flavor if plain water is boring. Or, my favorite one they mentioned, is tying hydration to existing habits.
Oh, like habit stacking.
Precisely. Drink a glass after brushing your teeth or before every meal. It's about making it automatic, effortless.
So simple yet so profound for our overall function. Okay, next up. The source describes regular reading as cross-training for your brain, suggesting just 10 minutes daily. In a world of endless distractions, finding even 10 minutes to read can feel like a luxury, right? What's
Yeah.
the unique benefit here beyond just, gaining knowledge?
Well, beyond just expanding knowledge, which is great, this habit is a really significant stress reducer.
More than music.
Yeah, research shows reading can reduce stress by up to 68%. Apparently, it outperforms activities like listening to music or even having a cup of tea for stress reduction.
Wow, 68%. That's huge.
It is. But the real insight from the author, I think, is about how you approach it. The key, Mia found, is removing all the pressure. Just choose books that genuinely interest or inspire you. No self-help guilt required. Pick up that novel, that biography, whatever grabs you.
And audiobooks count too, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. The source makes that clear, which makes it super easy to fit into commutes or chores or even just a short walk. It's about giving your brain a focused, imaginative workout.
Cross-training for your brain. I really like that analogy. Now let's shift our focus a bit to our physical environment. Our source wisely notes that our surroundings directly impact our mental state. And this tip suggests tackling just one small area at a time. For someone facing like a mountain of clutter, how does this one area approach actually make a difference? Seems like a drop in the ocean.
Well, this is where environmental psychology comes in. Research confirms that organized spaces reduce anxiety, improve focus, and even enhance our sense of control.
Okay, that makes sense.
The beauty of the one area approach, whether it's your desk drawer or your purse or just a single kitchen shelf, is that it prevents that feeling of overwhelm.
Right, you're not trying to do everything at once.
Exactly. It provides immediate, tangible satisfaction. The article recounts how simply organizing one desk drawer made an entire workday feel more controlled and less chaotic for the author. It's not about achieving perfection overnight, but about generating momentum through these small, visible wins.
Visible wins, I like that.
Yeah. And a little secret from the source, they subtly mention incorporating calming colors like blues and greens can also help create a more peaceful feel in that space.
It's amazing how a tidy drawer can have such a ripple effect. Okay, now, this next one. This might be the most challenging tip for many of us, but the source also calls it one of the most powerful. Learning to say no without guilt. For people pleasers, myself sometimes included, this often feels impossible. How does the article suggest we actually build that no muscle?
You've definitely hit on the core challenge there. The source powerfully emphasizes that boundaries aren't selfish. They are absolutely necessary. Necessary for sustainable giving, for authentic relationships. If you think about it, overcommitting means you're essentially saying no to your own priorities and well-being.
That's a good way to put it. Saying no to yourself.
Yeah. Mia advises starting small. Use simple, firm declines like, that doesn't work for me right now, without feeling you need these elaborate excuses or apologies.
That doesn't work.
Just that. Or, I can't commit to that right now. It also suggests the delayed response technique,
What's that?
buying yourself time before answering. Say it's something like, let me check my calendar and get back to you. It gives you space to align with your true priorities rather than just reacting impulsively to please someone. It's a really powerful lesson in protecting your energy and respecting your own time.
That's a huge shift in perspective, saying no as self-preservation, not selfishness. Okay. On a related note, there's something surprisingly powerful, our source notes, about taking goals from your head and actually putting them on paper. What's the psychological mechanism at play here? Why is this so much more effective than just, thinking about our to-do list?
This practice triggers something psychologists call the Zeigarnik effect.
The Zeigarnik effect.
Zeigarnik effect, yeah. It's where our brains basically experience tension from unfinished tasks. We remember them better. And then we feel this profound sense of relief and accomplishment upon completion. The act of writing goals down, specifically, dramatically increases your likelihood of achieving them. The source quotes a stat by a reported 42%.
Wow, 42% just from writing it down.
That's the finding, yeah.
Yeah.
But the advice here is crucial. List just 3 to 5 realistic weekly priorities, not these overwhelming daily to-do lists that just make you feel bad.
All right, keep it achievable.
Exactly. It's about focusing on progress over perfection and actively celebrating those small wins along the way. This structured approach is incredibly effective for maintaining, say, work-life balance and preventing burnout.
That 42% jump is seriously compelling. Okay, now for many of us, this next tip is a truly tough one. Creating designated phone-free periods. The pull of our devices, it can be incredibly strong. What are the tangible benefits of taking these digital mini breaks?
Oh, this is such a modern-day battle, isn't it? Studies clearly correlate excessive social media use with increased anxiety, depression, and that ever-present FOMO, the fear of missing out.
Yeah, definitely feel that sometimes.
We all do. But even short, intentional breaks can make a dramatic difference. The source suggests practical windows, like the first hour after waking up,
Okay.
or during meals, or maybe after 8 p.m., and ideally, physically placing your phone in another room during those times.
Ooh, the other room strategy. Tough, but probably effective.
It is tough. And while the initial discomfort might be real, that feeling of being disconnected, the article highlights that it quickly gives way to rediscovering offline activities. And interestingly, psychology research shows that even boredom itself, which we try so hard to avoid, is actually essential fuel for creativity and problem solving.
Huh. So being bored is good for you.
In moderation, yes. It lets your mind wander and connect ideas. It's about reclaiming mental space from constant stimulation.
Reclaiming mental space. That's a powerful way to put it. Okay, finally, the source suggests a daily reflection ritual. Takes just 5 minutes. After a long day, honestly, the last thing many of us want to do is more work, even mental work. What makes this quiet contemplation so impactful?
Yeah, it sounds like another task, but it's different. Daily reflection creates this crucial pause for um, objective processing. It allows you to actually learn from each day's experiences, good or bad. Mia found it utterly transformed how she sees mistakes not as failures, but as valuable data points for tomorrow's decisions.
Data points. Interesting.
Yeah. Plus, this practice also activates your parasympathetic nervous system, that's your body's rest and digest system. So it actively promotes relaxation and sets the stage for better sleep.
Ah, okay, so it helps you wind down.
Exactly. And simple guiding questions are key here. Things like, what went well today? What would I maybe do differently? And coming back to an earlier point, what am I grateful for? This builds self-awareness, which is really a cornerstone of emotional intelligence, and it fosters a true growth mindset, seeing challenges as opportunities.
What's truly fascinating here, and it's really threaded through all these incredibly practical tips, is the core message. Real personal growth doesn't demand some dramatic overhaul. It's about consistent, almost imperceptible, small steps that naturally build on each other, creating these powerful ripple effects throughout your life. It's not about changing everything, but about gently nudging your daily routine.
Exactly. Mia Gibson's source powerfully concludes that self-improvement isn't some fixed destination you arrive at. It's an ongoing, fluid practice. The ultimate goal is always progress, not perfection. It's about forgiving yourself for the imperfections, the slip-ups, and celebrating those mini wins. The article really encourages you, our listener, to pick just one tip, just one that truly resonates with you right now. Commit to trying it for just a week. And then just observe. See how that small, intentional change begins to transform other areas of your life in maybe surprising ways.
So what does this all mean for you? If consistent, small steps are the true sustainable path to meaningful growth, then what tiny, practical action from this deep dive will you commit to starting today to begin your own ripple effect? Maybe it is those 15 extra minutes in the morning, or perhaps a few lines of gratitude each day, or maybe just drinking one more glass of water. Think about that as you go about your day.